you feel being seen as the architect of this recession? Do you feel you're being unfairly?
Well, I'm not been seen that way, thankfully, but I do hope we can work our way out of it.
And well, you were in power when the oil and gas in Corrib, when this was being negotiated by Ray Burke. Don't you see that the resources that are available off the west coast of Ireland could put Ireland in a completely different situation to what it is now? Do you think that this should be seen as Ray Burke is a known criminal? Don't you think that it would be reasonable to have, for the interest of the whole country and for the future generations of the country, don't you think that it should be renegotiated?
Well, that's a matter for the present government.
Mr. Ahern, the people are in jail at the moment. Yes, well, it would be well if... Mr. Ahern, some people don't have the choice to disengage when they want to and are being held in prison for upholding their constitutional rights, their rights to fish, where they have license to fish. And you and fellow corrupt politicians, have given away their constitutional rights.
Hello, Jim.
Charlie to 1 Charlie.
Why are the guards always protecting people who are actually the criminals?
Oh, Fred, come in.
One 5 months, 1 week in prison, and for a crime that I did not commit. Case was brought to court, and the judge believed the word of Garda Síochána, the same guards that's been criticised by numerous human rights organisations and the Garda Ombudsman Commission as well. So the fact that Judge Raymond Groke, when he did sentence me, made the remark that I was a thug and a bully, that's very, very disappointing, but not surprised. I'm not surprised at that remark because of the information he would have received from these Gardaí, which yet he was inclined to believe them. And because anybody that knows me knows damn well that I'm not that kind of person.
Your family tends to be singled out for special treatment. Your son Jonathan and your brother Martin have both been arrested, and Jonathan was released without charges after being badly treated.
Absolutely, yeah. My son Jonathan was arrested last year, brought before a special sitting of another Fianna Fáil appointed judge, and he was sent into Castlerea prison as well, and his boat detained. My boat, I ended up in hospital last year, and my boat was also detained. Solely for one purpose, and one purpose only, was to clear the path for Shell to lay their pipe. No other reason. And we've been singled out. Me and my family has been singled out by the state. In other words, to roll out the red carpet for Shell, even though the people of Ireland isn't going to receive 1 cent ever for this project. One conclusion I can come with, and that's, there must have been dirty deals done in the past by our government and oil companies, and we, the Irish people, the rightful owners of our gas and oil, doesn't seem to have a say in the matter, and we suffered enough in 1974 when we joined the EU. We gave away 2/3 of our fishing quota, and ministers and TDs, especially when they were campaigning there for the Lisbon Treaty a second time around. Pat O Donnell had an article in the Mayo News stating that the European Union had been very, very good to us, the Irish people. That something like €60 million we have received since we joined for grant aid for infrastructure, reps for farmers and that, but not one mention of all the wealth we have given away in our fish quota. You won't read it like. So the media is to blame every bit as much as the lawmakers and the politicians, because they don't report the real story. Because I think it's about 200 billion euro that we have lost through our fish quota up to date, and that's just talking about fish. We're not talking about job creation in Portugal, Spain and France, where the majority of our fish quota is ending up. So the amount of wealth that's being created in these countries through their fish, it's unbelievable. And that's just fish and what's under the seabed belong to the Irish people. The amount of oil and gas, and yet, the Gardaí that's policing it for Shell, all the time the state is cutting their wages, and yet they seem to come here from all around the country, the guards, to bat for Shell, and they themselves and their children and our children are going to suffer. The hospitals, schools, you name it, and there's a mountain of wealth along our coast, but yet we don't seem to mind. We give it all away.
And how were you treated while you were in?
In prison, I was treated by the prisoners with respect. It took a while to explain to them what I was in for, and the fact that I refused to do community service, and therefore I ended up with a jail sentence. They showed me respect for that, and I thank them very much. And 90% of the prison staff treated me all right, and there was a few that tried to be bullyish and that. So I have no problem with that. But the fact that I was thrown out of Castlerea prison yesterday morning at 7:20, told by a prison officer that my transport was waiting for me outside the gate. So I didn't believe her, and I asked for a telephone, to use the telephone, and she refused me to make sure that my transport was outside because it was raining heavy that time. And she says that I wouldn't be allowed a phone call at that hour in the morning. So as soon as I went outside the gate, the gate slammed behind me, and there was no transport. As we speak, where we're standing now, this whole area, it's like an open prison. It's beyond belief what's going on. The rest of the country doesn't seem to know. We say mainstream media doesn't seem to be on our side. They're all bought off, I believe.
I think if the people of Ireland knew that we could be a wealthy country rather than a pig, as they put it.
Yeah, well, if you take Norway, for instance, they didn't join the EU, and they have their fish quotas, they have their exclusion zone to date, and they have their oil, they have their gas. It's all belong to the Norwegian people. We could have the same here. We could be very, very wealthy. We could be one of the wealthiest countries in Western Europe if we had the right people at the helm to steer us in the right direction. But that's not happening. It's sad.